Hey guys, today I'm gonna be going over uh, my civil engineering technology program that I took, and I just like to go over the courses that I took. Um, so it was super good. I really liked the civil engineering technology program, um, mainly because of the people that I met during the program, and also I find the courses to be very interesting as well. So on my first semester, um, yeah, I think every semester you have to take 6 courses. Um, it might seem heavy um, if you compare it to a university program, but some of it is it's actually pretty easy. This one, like the 1.5 credits. Yeah, basically this one's just equivalent to 5 courses, I think, in university. So it's not too bad. And yeah, so let's get started. So the first one is the concrete technology. So this one has 2 portions. One is theory and the other one is lab. Um, is this one is pretty good. I really like the teacher on the lab. Um, yeah, he's just super chill. And with this one, you learn like different lab procedures in testing concrete and a little bit of theory about concrete, like how it cures, when is the when is the concrete like the strongest, like which day it becomes very like strong, like the strength of it. It's and like different curing times, like how each day, sorry, I couldn't remember much. So it was there's certain days where it actually grows really fast, like the strength of it. I think that's how I understand it. And what else did I do? So properties. This is mostly just properties of concrete, and also you learn about um, different chemicals when you put it into the concrete. So like plasticizer, and you learn a little bit of mixed design as well, like for a certain slump that you can make, or a certain strength of the concrete. So yeah, let's see if I remember something else. Mm, yeah, just quality control methods as well. Like I think we learn how long should be. I don't know if this is from my job or from this course, but maybe how long it took for the um, concrete to get to its place, like when it's traveling on a mixer. On my job, it was okay. So in my job, it has to be placed. How long is it? I think it's an hour and 30 minutes. I'm not entirely sure. Can't remember, but it's a good course. Construction practices theory. Okay, so I really didn't like the instructor for this course, and I actually took 3 more course, 2 more courses, including on top of this one that was taught by the instructor, and he's not really that good. Um, Basically, not much teaching was done. It was just us, my classmates, teaching ourselves. Yeah, so not a big fan of that. Um, so this one was mostly like so lots of information, um, but like it's so much information. It's actually super interesting information, but it was just so cramped. I think it's too many. but nonetheless, it was a good course. It taught us like the different terminologies in construction, like different materials, like different methods of construction. Like this one taught us how to read the construction drawings, which is very intimidating. I think, like when I first learned it, and it's still very intimidating right now. But it just become as you progress through this program, it just becomes more comfortable with reading construction drawing, and it's actually a pretty good skill to have to be able to read a construction drawing. Like it's mostly like learning where to find certain things. Let's say finding the structural specs on the building, and yeah, mostly that. Also, we learn about the building codes here as well, and yeah, it's super good course. You learn lots. And this one, Com261. Well, mostly I know how to use. This is just a Microsoft Word, like no Microsoft products course. But I still learn a lot about like with the Excel. I think the Excel was pretty useful. Um, yeah, it was pretty useful, but I couldn't remember. I know it was useful, like adding the datas and stuff. I think averaging them with just some functions. That's very useful, but I have a hard time remembering. Yeah, but then the word there's like the for thing. I think that one's pretty useful, but it's actually like it's super hard to find like how to format like putting page numbers. It's not very straightforward in Word, so that was a good one to learn. And on the PowerPoints, I think I did a pretty good PowerPoint project in that one. I think I talk about structural engineering in the PowerPoint, and I learned like I just do a bit of research on it, and it was pretty good. Civil engineering statics, probably like one of the most important courses in a civil engineering program. Mostly because you're gonna take lots of structural classes, and yeah, this is the fundamental. And yeah, I think it's mostly so like I think the idea with statics is that you always want all the forces and the moments to balance out, and some questions can be very tedious, like the trusses. But this one's I like statics. It's very fun. Surveying. um I really like the theory in the surveying, like find it interesting, like calculating those things. It's just the lab portion. This one has lots of labs, and I'm not the best with like the application part, and mostly it's my group mates who kind of understand what the heck's going on during the labs, and they kind of took care of the lab, most of it. But I still did my part on the labs, like I did some of the calculations. But this one's super interesting with the theory. I just like the angles when you're go like looking at different stations and like traversing through it. It's super fun, but it's very hard for me to remember the details. I'm sorry, but I remember I had lots of fun learning this one. And yeah, I think we used a program here, but I didn't really remember. Maybe it was just my friend who was using the program, and I was just doing some calculations using hand. So yeah, but this one super good. Like if I'm not super bad with like the practical application, like setting up your total station, then I would definitely like consider being a surveyor. It's super interesting to me, like the theory. Yeah, maybe in the software side that would be nice, like the GIS stuff. So that's the Geographic Information System, which I took on the second year as well, which is I really like it. And but yeah, this one, civil surveying, is very nice. It's a good class. The teacher was kind of hard because like he has like very vague instructions for the lab, and we kind of just figure it out along the way, which is kind of fun as well. So it's a fun class. I really like this one. Yeah. And Mat 238, yeah, the instructor was very funny in this one. And yeah, learn about calculus. And yeah, this one compared to in UFC, this one's definitely easier because this one kind of skipped through, like it went by really fast with the limits, and we got into derivatives immediately, and then integrals, and then in UFC it kind of takes a while to get to the derivatives part. But this one's mostly focused on the applications, like solving word problems using calculus, and not much with the theory part. This is good. I like it. Sorry. So we have second semester. This one's first semester I was very serious, and then second semester not so much, because during these two things I was doing the GNCTR. So it's the toboggan race, and that one takes a lot of time to do, but still managed to get through it, so it's good. And I also doing a bunch of things, like, oh no, not me, but like I go with a peer mentor, and like she helped me like not talk about the courses, future courses of what it's about. So yeah, but still I was kind of have a hard time balancing the second semester. Soil mechanics, yeah, this was good. So yeah, mostly it's the same. It's a lab. Some of it is half lab, half theory. So this one, so this concrete one is basically, so like the soil mechanics is the equivalent of the soil. So the soil mechanics is the equivalent of like the concrete. So this one's basically just about soils. Which is pretty good. You learn about different types of soils, their properties. Same with the concrete, you do sieve analysis with this one. It's pretty fun. I like it a lot. Probably my favorite class in the entire one of the two of my most favorite class in civil engineering. One is this one, because I really like the soil, and like like designing structures around it. Super fun. I like this a lot. And yeah, this one's lots of love, like lots of lab, and it says field investigation. Yeah, I think we had one time where they actually bore a hole and then grab the soil sample. And that's pretty cool to see that, and like how they grab the sample with like the auger. That was pretty sick. And yeah, this was just pretty fun. I like labs. Like labs is just, it's like, I don't know. Labs, so you basically go to the lab and then you just look at properties of like the soil, and then get some measurements, and then you make some lab reports on what you learn based on the theory that you learn in class. So that's good. Introduction to civil drafting. I'm not the best with the drafting, but I know how to do it. And yeah, most of my classmates, they're super good with drafting, and I wish I am. But still, learning. This is learning how to use AutoCAD. And yeah, this one's introduction to the different kinds of drafting. Some like structural, subdivision plans, environmental. This was okay. It's good. Yeah, still I learned a lot in this one. And like traverses. I don't know if we did traverses here. Maybe we did. But I think that's mostly related with the surveying part. Okay, technical communications. I didn't really take this one seriously, but I think I should have. But this one's pretty cool. Mostly, we learn how to like communicate effectively. Some people have like very interesting. Like if they did a presentation, they kind of talk about their experience sometimes if they're like having experience with construction before, and yeah, that's very useful to like see what people have experienced in the industry. And yeah, the teacher was pretty good. She seems very passionate with what she's doing, so I give her props to that. But yeah, I didn't really take this one seriously, unfortunately. That's life. All right, estimating. So this one's the same teacher that I didn't quite like with this one, and this one's actually my lowest mark on SATE. Mainly because I got the 0 on the final project. Me and my groupmate got a 0 because yeah, we were kind of messing around, fooling around, and we kind of procrastinated, and then once the deadline approached, we had problems submitting it, and yeah, the teacher gave us 0 because we kind of handed in like 5 minutes late, and he said that in real life, if you submitted a bid for a job, and then if it's late, then it's useless. So it has to be in time, like even though if it's not finished, which is unlikely. You should finish it if you have a bid. But yeah, my most valuable lesson I learned in this class. So basically, you always need to get things done on time. So I live on that idea, like for most things that I do in life. Like I always want to get things done on time. That's my like philosophy with most things, like to get things on time. Very important. But in this class, we learn basically the teacher taught us how to like estimate like how it would cost. Like it's almost about cost, like thinking about like the different materials that you need to build a product. It's mostly just the materials. Let's talk about in this one, not much labor. I think you do that in estimating too, but I didn't take that course. So this one, yeah, and then for the final project, I believe we had to estimate like how much it would take, like cost to build a building, which is so hard because yeah, the teacher didn't really teach us like much like how to do it, and his lectures are kind of confusing for me at least, but I feel like the same thing with other students. But to I learned like lots of like the different parts. Like this one has a lab portion as well, which is pretty cool. Like we did like we built a house, not like me, but like everyone, and we kind of contributed as little. I just suck at like anything hands on. So yeah, it was kind of tough for me, but it was good to see other people like how they build things. It was very interesting. And like carpenters, yeah, they're like good with like math and geometry. It's pretty sick to learn. And like the way they problem solve is so much different than like the kind of like academic mathematics physics related. Like it's just different like in real life how like mostly like the trades how they solve the problems. It's so, I don't know, it's a different way of creativity than the academic way of like maths and physics creativity. I like how the trades people solve problems. It's pretty, I find it very smart. um what else did I do in this one? Yeah, there's the lab portion. Yeah, it's just so nice to see how a house is built from start to finish. We didn't really see the whole process because we only get to see it once a week, but it's a continual building, so other classes could see it as well, but they're on like a different section of the house when they have their class. And yeah, so yeah, it's kind of like in 1 week we were doing like maybe walls, and then the second week we're in trusses, so sometimes we miss the flooring. Yeah, it's but it's a great way to see because the instructor for the lab super experienced guy, and yeah, like he taught us about like the different like parts of the house, like what it do. And also I think he was very passionate about like insulation as well, like different technologies to conserve energy in the house, which is really a big deal because like you lose lots of energy if your house is not well insulated. I think this course is very good if you want to be a building inspector. Yeah, because like building inspector, they're super important when you're buying a house or like building a building, making sure that the building is up to the code, to the building code. And yeah, so like it just makes your house safe to live in, and it would be like a reliable house. It would last longer. So yeah, very important job, house inspector. Strength materials, another very important course if you want to be maybe like focus on the design, like mostly structural engineering. This one's basically uh how do you call it, like the next course after statics. So yeah, this one's heavy with math and like just solving word, like solving structural problems. But this one's hard, and this one takes a lot of, it's hard. The thing with statics and strength of material is that it's hard to see where the forces go. It's kind of not, it's hard to see it concretely. It's mostly like theoretical, like finding where the tension part is and then the compression part. And like Yeah, and this one's more theoretical than the statics. Um, yeah, there's like the idea of thermal stresses. I think this is when, like, how temperature affects certain materials. Like sometimes they expand, and that causes like a force, and yeah. And then torsional loading, I believe that's like the twisting part. Shear stress is like this. I think that's shear stress. Centroid, I believe that means like the balancing points. In moment of inertia, this one's a very weird concept. I still never understand it. It's just yeah, and the unit of it is to the fourth, to the power of four, and like I never really understand this one, honestly. And then bending moment diagrams, very important when you're designing statically determinate beams. See, I don't like really remember this. I know how to do the calculation, but it was so hard to really understand like what's happening with these ones. That's why like I couldn't be a structural engineer, because you have to be like understand this like deeply, these concepts, to be a structural engineer. Yeah, thankfully I have friends that's good with this one, that kind of help me understand it, but still. And then the deflection. So if you have a beam like this one, then it's a force. Like you have to calculate like what's acceptable based on like you put a safety factor on how much deflection it is allowed the beam for it to be safe. And then columns, so you're designing the column, so the straight part. Yeah, not so very good with structures, but it was fun class. I like math and learning about the theory, so it was good class. Statistics, yeah, this one's pretty good. Helps you. Yeah, it's very like rational thinking, and like looking at the statistics to make decisions. And yeah, it's just different ways of um, analyzing data, I think. And yeah, like I have a hard time understanding the theory as well, like the Z scores. I couldn't remember what it was, but yeah, I wish I could remember what it was. But before I remembered it when I was studying it, but I just somehow forgot how to do it. But this one is very important if you're analyzing data, and yeah, I think this is, yeah, very important as well when doing sampling in concrete. Like you need to be able to like know the statistics, how much, how often, like let's say when you're testing a concrete on like testing its strength, like how often it fails to a certain amount of strength with a specific type of mix design. I think that's the application of it. But yeah, I don't know. All right. Um. Okay, so in the second year, you're either asked to pick a major. So it's either construction management or the municipal one. The reason why I didn't choose construction management is that one, I didn't really did well on my estimating. So taking estimating 2 seems super scary. So I felt like I would really fail that one. No, not fail, but like kind of did bad. But I'm not very interested as well with that one. Um, and yeah, it has like a extra structural course. I think it was Where is it? Wood. Where's wood? Yeah, structural wood. Super interesting class, I think, if I've taken it, but I'm not very good with structural. So the reason why I took the municipal route is actually I was pretty interesting with the courses. Like it sounds cool, the urban, and then the transportation one. So yeah. So let's go over. So the urban services. Okay, wait, no. Let's go with this one because this is. So yeah, contracts and regulations. This one's hard because it's related with kind of the law and yeah, it talks about the contracts, what's illegal, what's legal. It talks about building codes, who's at fault. Yeah, it was a very important class, but very hard for me. Like you look at different cases, like different historical cases, I believe, or like some made up ones as well. But this one's kind of based on law. That was kind of hard for me to do. But very important course. Project planning and control. Okay, so this is the same instructor from the estimating this one. So yeah, I'm not a big fan of him, man. He's a nice guy, but not a big fan of his teaching at all. So yeah, where it is? Oh, thank goodness, yeah. My friend, she carried me on this class. Like, I don't know how to like use Microsoft Project even now. But like with this one, I think it would be very useful. For yeah, it's this is basically a course for project managers, so it's mostly scheduling. And yeah, I'm not good at scheduling at all. Yeah, this was just not okay. So this in this semester, I was also having a part-time job. I think I was working like 16, no, like 10 to 16 hours a week. So wait, how much did I work? Actually, no, that's a lie. I only work, yeah, maybe like 5 hours a week. Yeah, sometimes you get busy, goes to 8, but actually just, yeah, 5 to 8 hours on that one. Yeah. Yeah, and then structural steel design. This is the hardest course, honestly, in this program in SAIT for civil engineering. This was very hard. It's a continuation from, so you have to be like, you have to have a very good understanding with your statics and your where's that, strength of materials class to be able to do on that one. So yeah, this one's just designing buildings, like steel structures, and yeah, it's very hard, like the connections for steel, designing the connections for the steel structures. It was just very hard for me, at least. And yeah, and like yeah, it's very hard for me to understand like sometimes there's like some welding, different types of welds as well, but that's just a small portion. It's mostly like structural. Yeah, that's why I didn't really like structural. I'm just not good with it. Like I can calculate it, but I have a hard time understanding what's going on. Yeah, this one, the homeworks were super tough, and yeah, so thankful for my friends. They really helped me with this one. And yeah, hardest class, honestly. And then, oh, did I miss something? Where is my other class? What? Something's wrong here. Yeah, because you have to take another one. This is not correct. Structural. Oh, I think they changed. Oh gosh, did they? Oh, okay. What is this? What's going on here, man? Okay. It's not the same. I took it in a different order than this one. But basically, I'll just go over it. So, transportation engineering. This one's pretty cool class. Like learning about. It's very intuitive. Like I understand what's going on here, cause like I could really relate and see how it works. Like sometimes you're designing a road, and there's like how much, like how much you can see. You're calculating how much the crest. I don't know which one is crest or trough, but whatever. Like the elevation where you can see. This one's pretty good. And yeah, this one's designing highways. I if I have like kind of like a desk job if in the civil engineering field, like I would probably go in transportation. This one's pretty cool. And like we use Civil 3D. Super good program, super powerful, man. And yeah, this one we learn about, like the thing with civil is like you learn lots seeing construction drawing. So this one's mostly related to road design drawing, which is super awesome. I really like this one. So you're usually most of the time looking at drawings and then doing calculations based on the transportation, traffic flows. This is super good class. I really like this one. Some people didn't like this, but I like this. This one's lots of drafting as well, which I'm not very good, but still, I like the theory on this one. I learned a lot. Good one. Okay, so this one, they put it in. I think I picked the wrong sequence, but this is not how I took the degree sequence. But I'm just gonna talk about the courses. So this one's actually in the second semester of my second year. But the capstone project, yeah, it was pretty good. It was kind of hard because my group, we kind of picked kind of like a very kind of advanced topic. We kind of wanted to design the bridge, and to become like a bridge designer, you have to be very, you have need lots of knowledge. This was very hard to research. Yeah, not a big fan. I learned so much, but it was hard to like understand stuff. So I was kind of like with my part, I did kind of like a foundation, what foundation type to use on the bridge, and like I was just like going at it like at very surface level and very broad. I wish I could have gone deeper, but it was so hard because I don't really understand the concept of foundation design of a bridge, which is different from a building. So yeah, but this was great. One of my friend was focused on the structural part of the bridge, like modeling and calculating it. And then I think one of my friend, she was focused on like just being a project manager, which she did well. And yeah, another friend of mine, she focused on like the surveying and gathering points, which is so awesome that she did that. it looks so cool. Like I think she used point cloud data to really have the representation of the bridge. So this one's actually, we have to redesign a bridge in downtown. So there was an existing bridge there already. So my friend, she gathered like point cloud data, which is super cool. This is why I like surveying a lot, because like the technology is just super awesome. Yeah, it's just, you can, with a bunch of points, you can make a 3D model of the bridge, which is super advanced. And yeah, like, so cool for me to see that. And what else was in the project? Yeah, it's mostly those things, but yeah, it's okay. um Survey and geographic information systems. So this one's the surveying class part 2, which is mostly related um to software, and I like this one even better. um like I said, with the point cloud data, we kind of learn it through this one as well. And yeah, this one talks about photogrammetry. um how do you spell that? Yeah, so like this one's like 3D modeling, like this, man. It's so cool. Like 3D modeling, it just looks so cool, man. I love this class. And the professor was, oh no, like the instruction was very passionate about this one. So I love it. I love it. And LiDAR, it's I think it's sending some sort of radiation. I don't know what, I forgot what type. But yeah, this one's just way too cool, man. LiDAR technology. Super cool. Yeah, like if I have like an unlimited time, I would really study like this one. Like learning how these things work. Lots of programming, I think, with this one. And like, yeah, gathering data. So like the first surveying one is mostly gathering data, and then this one is where you analyze the data, which is super cool, man. So in this one we use Civil 3D. It's like sometimes you have to calculate. There's like a theoretical way, like just manual calculation, but it becomes very complicated. So Civil 3D, we learn about the theory and how to calculate it, but then we use the software if it was super complicated. So Civil 3D, I don't know what it was. Takeoffs, soil, I forgot what it's called. Earthworks, yeah, earthworks, very important. So like how much, so I learned this in in transportation engineering as well. But yeah, like you just learn like doing like how much soil to take out and haul to the other locations, just to balance it out, you know. Yeah, you learn that's pretty sick stuff in engineering. I like this one because it's very advanced in terms of technology. Yeah, I don't know, what is it. There's lots of things. Photogrammetry. Yeah, this one's just very cool. I think. Where is it? Geomatics. One of the best fields, and this actually really interests me. LiDAR, photogrammetry, remote sensing. Yeah, we didn't really go over this, but this one sounds really cool. Remote sensing. And then in this one we learn about maps as well. Like the shape of the earth. Yeah, it's pretty interesting idea. And like yeah, this one's lots of like gathering data, and then it just looks so cool. I love this class a lot. Super, but very hard, I think. Very hard class if you go deeper into it, but should be very worth it to do this one. Geodesy. This one's very math heavy, I think. Yeah, this one's math heavy. 100% sure. But yeah, I really like this one. Yeah, so there's lots of opportunities in surveying. There's hydrographic survey. Is this the right one? No, it's not the right one. No. This is for... I didn't learn this one. Maybe it's topographical. Yeah. Yeah, this one. Yeah, we kinda... In my first surveying class, we kinda did the surveying of say like the contours, something like this, which is so cool. I really like that one. Yeah, it's just super fun. Geomatics, man. Fun class. I love it. I wish I've taken more geomatics courses. Yeah. Alright. Let's move on. Okay, so I should have gone this way. Alright, so... yeah. Urban services. So this one, you learn about pipes you put underground. And then land use. Like subdivision, what do you use that? Maybe for industrial. Lots of drawings here, looking at drawings. Sanitary storm sewer design. Yeah, this is mostly like grading, like in a slope or something like that. Lots of what do you call that? Like lots of drawings, like subdivision drawings. Yeah, like this. Yeah, like designing where to put the fire hydrants, the water valves. Pretty interesting. Pretty cool drawings. So yeah, I wish I was good at drafting, because like looking at the construction drawings, looks so good, man. Looks so good. And yeah, structural drawings, it's very hard to read, to be honest. Like it looks like this and so much information. That's why it's so difficult. Like when you first time see it, like even now it's hard for me to find, but I kind of know where to look for things. And yeah, certain construction drawings, they're just super long. So I don't know if there's any examples. I don't know. I think I'm not allowed to show like somewhere. Like some of I got from Sate, but yeah, sometimes it's just complicated. But this one's pretty easy. This just a residential house. Master bedroom. Yeah, I think we had this one just for practice for the estimating, like estimating how much it would cost to build the house. And like yeah, this one's pretty good. But sometimes it gets pretty complicated if it's a big building. So yeah, pretty interesting course. And water resources, I kind of skipped so much of this class. This is mostly designing pipes, and I'm not very good or not that passionate with the pipes, man. But very useful if you wanna like with water. So like maybe building dams, channels. Yeah, this is mostly more like a mechanical class, but still, with some civil applications. But still, with this one, we're mostly focused with like very large structures, and it's mostly open channels. But we also learn about the theory behind fluid mechanics, because like yeah, fluid gets weird if you constrict the area. Something weird happens, like the flow. But yeah, I'm not very good with this one. Geotechnical design, this is easy for me, probably. So two of my favorite course, soil and geotech, because I really like the soil, man. Like designing structures with the geotechnical, like the foundations and retaining walls and mechanically stabilized earth. This is MSE, and this was so cool. Like I really studied this a lot. Like for the capstone, I didn't think I put it up, but basically you can make the soil so strong by putting a bunch of, I don't know, like sometimes they put straps there, but it's basically the idea. When you put a rebar on a concrete, it just makes the structure stronger, which means you can make it the soil very tall without much slope to it, which is pretty cool. So like this one, like it's just super straight, which is so awesome. Yeah, I think it's geogrids. It's called geogrids that they put in the thing. This is very common in like bridges, like abutment. This is usually what they do in these areas, or retaining walls actually. Retaining. So basically a retaining wall, it retains soil. Large scale. Basically it's an abutment. Yeah. This is very cool. Very, very cool. So abutment is just this part over here. Yeah, that was pretty sick. I love this, probably my favorite course. So geotechnical engineering. So this is just on the field, but the design part is pretty interesting. Yeah, you mostly calculating footings. Yeah, it's mostly footings, foundations. You design the piles, pile design. Very fun designing these things. This is like the other structural class, like the reinforced concrete and the steel. It didn't really click to me, but this one really clicked to me because I was super passionate. So like usually if you see a building, they usually have like a pile foundation that goes to the bedrock, and yeah, sometimes it's a raft foundation. So basically it's just a huge block of foundation compared to like a pile foundation. Piles just straight, basically columns on the soil, which is pretty good. So yeah, in this class we learn about like settlements as well. Yeah, you basically, this is what you're trying to avoid, like certain things to settle, and then yeah, you're gonna get the leaning tower Pisa because of bad geotechnical analysis of the situation. Yeah, super interesting. That was fun. Asphalt technology, it's another lab. The theory was taught by the lab teacher, which I really like, but he's really not good at teaching theory. He's mostly like a lab guy, so theory was boring, but the lab was pretty cool. It's pretty hot in the asphalt lab. Very dangerous to get burned, so be careful if you're in an asphalt lab. And yeah, interesting. I like asphalt. Pretty sick. Like we use it every day, and like you really have to be, this has to be like a well understood science, because we use it, like the properties of this. So yeah, and like pavement engineering, man. Pavement engineering, not many people go into this, but I heard it's super like not much competition, and yeah, you make lots of money. I know, because yeah, my previous manager works in the city and gets lots of money. So yeah, very good. Reinforced concrete design. So this was the second hardest course for me. So it was steel first, and then this one. It's basically steel design, but it's for concrete design. Reinforced concrete design is basically designing rebars for concrete structures. Yeah, it's pretty good. It's mostly with civil engineering. You analyze using the moment diagrams. So yeah, and I couldn't remember moment diagrams, man. But before I knew it, but yeah, this was designing. I kind of miss it, but yeah, this was kind of hard too sometimes. But yeah, designing is fun. And then I think this is the last, environmental engineering, which is very important. We learn about like just with the soil and um, like landfill as well. And yeah, what else did I learn in this class? Yeah, I think my instructor, he was very focused on like sustainable building design. Lots of sustainable building designs. Yeah, like how to like become more environmental friendly for buildings, and just to, like save more energy, and like the design that's like not super sad. It's a design where you can kind of like appreciate life, like kind of like holistic. I don't know what holistic means. How do you holistic characterized by the compression of a part, something intimate, connected, expecting only by reference to the whole. Yeah, kind of like a whole. Like together. Yeah, interesting. But yeah, so like taking care of the environment, like what happens if there's like a pipeline that broke down, and yeah, and like environmental, the effects. Let's say you're trying to build a bridge. It's very hard because you have to take care of the fishes on the let's say the river, and yeah, you have to take care like where would you put it when you're doing the construction. And then if you make a bridge, it will cause disturbance on the water flow, so you have to think like maybe some dams, I don't know, I think something like that. But yeah, like when you're building with construction, you're always gonna you're always gonna hurt the environment. So this one's very important because we don't wanna like completely like ruin our environment just so we can have like a more industrialized cities. Like we wanna like we want a balance between between like ruining the nature and improving civilization. That's what I think. But yeah, very important. And also waste. I actually went to a waste treatment plant, and it was so cool. Like the things they do, man. They're like cleaning water. It's a privilege to have a clean water. And yeah, sometimes we just take it for granted. And like let's say someone fucked up in the waste treatment the water treatment plant, and I think there's been cases when that happened, and it's a bad time, man, for everyone. So yeah, we need to like take care of the environment, man. So yeah, that's my SAID program. I really recommend it, and I learned lots of things to it. So yeah, and mostly yeah, like sometimes people were kind of focused on getting a job, but for me it's mostly about learning something that I find interesting. But still, you kind of want to have a job as well, but sometimes it's nice to just do something because you're actually passionate and want to learn more about it, and not just to have like a secure job after graduation. But that's just me, and some people are more rational. So yeah. Okay, thank you. Bye.